you very much. Before I start the presentation, I want to say that I am very impressed by our opening speaker, Mr. Tai, and his explanation of your company's plans and the process your company has followed to develop its core values and its overall strategy. It's very encouraging to see that integrity and trust are at the top of the list for your aspirations. So today we will talk about integrity and trust and the various ways of ensuring that these values are followed in the company. But first I would like to point out that integrity and trust can be an important part of your company's plan to become a better and more sustainable company. I will start by talking about the trusted advisor, and then we will carry on to the other speakers. But the trusted advisor is an important concept. You can build your company's business plan by working to be recognized as a trusted advisor. You will then be a company that makes better profits and provides better career opportunities for your employees. So now I will share my screen and show you the presentation. So many people in our business consider the trusted advisor to be an ideal. If you search the internet, you will find references to the trusted advisor, what it means, and who says it is good and why it is good. But there is confusion possible about the definition of a trusted advisor. So what does this term really mean for consulting engineering, the consulting engineering industry? Okay, next slide. So for a consulting firm, a consulting engineering firm, a trusted advisor will always put the client first. The company will make its business to understand the client's business, making sure that everyone in a senior position who interacts with the client understands the client's business, not only the technical side of the business, but also the business side. What is it that makes their business profitable? And what are the risks involved in their business? And what do they need to do to manage those risks? The company must be technically strong, and the company must be committed to quality and integrity. And lastly, the company wants to be known for delivering benefits to the client, but not known for low price. Okay, next slide. So an individual consultant, the person that, especially the person that your company sends to work with the client, again, he puts the client first. He listens to the client by understanding the client's business. He is technically strong. He's a good communicator. He or she acts with confidence and courage. These are the same things that you talked about as your aspirations for your company. This person will have strong business acumen, will understand, again, the most important aspects of business, what it takes to stay in business, both for the company and for the client. And this individual is capable of big picture thinking. And lastly, those people, those important individuals, are people that the client will ask for by name. Very important to build up your reputation to that point where the client will ask you for you by name. Okay, next slide. So FIDIC has for many years adopted the concept of the trusted advisor as an important part of the image that FIDIC advocates for our industry. And this is one quote that is taken out of one of the earlier FIMS documents. And Richard will be talking about the FIMS documents and where they came from and what their role is. Jorge, my colleague Jorge, will also talk about them. So this quotation says that the consulting engineers strive to create a business relationship of a trusted advisor. It cannot thrive unless the firm acts with integrity towards all its stakeholders, whether they're internal or external to the business. This is such a key component of success that integrity, along with quality and sustainability, are the values on which FIDIC is based. So FIDIC has advocated this trusted advisor. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. And in a FIDIC guide to practice, which all of the young professionals, future leaders are familiar with, we talk about consulting engineers and the ones who are seen as reliable and responsible with a reputation for honoring their commitments. They're seen by clients to be worthy service providers. So these words explain why, again, FIDIC advocates the trusted advisor concept. So this is what we try and instill in the future leaders through the Young Professionals program, and it's something that you'll find throughout the FIDIC documents concerning integrity and quality and sustainability. Next slide. So if your firm wants to be known as a trusted advisor, what does it mean? Well, first thing, when your people are building your image through your marketing program, you build your image around the trusted advisor concept. And then when you're pursuing projects, you are deciding which projects you're going to submit proposals on. You should be pursuing projects that reward quality and integrity, not low price. And this is an important thing to lift your company up above the level where you're competing on price. And it looks to me like your description, Mr. Tai explained that this is where your company wants to be known for integrity and trust. So when you're developing staff, competing to find the best and the brightest, you will find that they are the kind of people who want to work for a company like this. In your company, if you are seeking to work as a trusted advisor, your company should be able to devote adequate time and resources for quality assurance. If you're not constantly worried about low price, you will have the resources for quality assurance. And then lastly, finance. If you are a high achieving firm that is able to hit the top of the market, not the bottom, you should be able to command higher rates, better margins, and greater profits. These are the things that can go with being considered to be a trusted advisor. Next slide. Next slide. If you're not a trusted advisor, here's the opposite. If you're a firm that is happy to compete on price and try and work very efficiently, but you're not concerned about integrity, when you project your image through your marketing, you don't talk about integrity. You will often pursue projects that reward low price. The staff development becomes a problem because there is a lot of pressure on the project teams to cut costs. And of course, sometimes when you're submitting proposals and you are in a cost-cutting environment, you will lose projects to a competitor based on price. That competitor is able to do what he thinks is the same job for less money. Quality. If there is pressure on costs, you're likely to have more errors. And financially, your company is likely to have lower profits and will have to struggle to stay in business. So it seems to me, and from my experience over many years, that it is far better to try and attack the market as a trusted advisor rather than to take the market, pursue the market as a low-cost company. When we get into discussion later, maybe it would be interesting to talk about this further. The next slide. So we're going to be talking a lot about integrity management here, and the tools that FIDIC has developed for integrity management. So let's again reiterate about the trusted advisor. The trusted advisor is expected to deliver unbiased advice, won't have any undisclosed conflicts of interest. If a conflict of interest arises, it is expected that the company will talk about it with the client, disclose the conflict, and will find a way to resolve the conflict so that the client is satisfied that the conflict of interest did not affect the advice, the unbiased advice he expects. That trusted advisor should represent the client's interests faithfully when dealing with contractors. No dishonesty with contractors. There should be no hint of bribery or self-dealing within the company. There should be no hint of fraud. There should be honest invoices, honest expense claims. I know sometimes it's very difficult. Some clients are very suspicious because they deal with other consulting firms that may not have honest invoices. So, but it should be very clear to your client that your invoices are honest and any expenses submitted to the client are valid and approved by the client. The company will also follow the client's rules about entertainment. This is something that we'll probably talk about later in our discussion period, but many clients nowadays have special rules to prevent excessive entertainment, excessive gift giving. It is most important to follow the client's rules when you're talking about this subject, because those rules can vary from one country to another and from one client to another. In my country, many government clients have rules now that if you go to lunch, the government employee he or she must pay for their own lunch. Those requirements do not exist in many other countries. So integrity management systems, including the system that is advocated by FIDIC called FIMS, will address these issues and help your firm live up to its aspirations to be a firm that merits the term trusted advisor. So I think that's all I would like to say about the trusted advisor topic. And now I would like to turn it over to the next speaker. Thank you.